Hi, my name's Ellie. Welcome to my channel. We're doing makeup, the lighting, shit, everything is literally on fire. And I want to do some yelling. So, currently with my work schedule, I get in at 5:30, which is not good for my functioning, but I've done it so far. And I get out at 2, which means in theory there's enough light, except that we decided to be overcast right now. It's early enough in the day that I normally would have been able to do my makeup and see, but you guys can't see, and I realized I haven't really done all my makeup on camera in a while. I've really been focusing on specific products. And so I just want to play with a bunch of stuff and yell. And I was in a slightly better mood. I was going to have like a chatty, friendly, get ready with me to go nowhere because my day's over and I'm not going out anywhere because the virus is still in full swing. But I came home and I had a snack and I started prepping some lunches for the rest of the week. I noticed it kind of smelled funny. And just like, yeah, it's whatever. We are in a house doing a lot of construction, so it smelled kind of like burning wood, but that's also what a saw smells like. You get that burned wood smell when you cut wood on a saw, and my parents are almost always doing some type of woodwork or construction, so it's not unreasonable to assume that somebody had cut wood in my house recently enough that it would smell like it. So I prepped my stuff, I went upstairs. My room was a little, I don't know, it looked foggy, not smoky, but I had left my humidifier on to try and deal with some of the dust from the construction and hopefully stop it from spreading as far into my room as I could. So I was like, oh, it's fine, it's whatever, it's just that my humidifier has been running all day. It must be the mist. And since it's kind of not great but nice outside, I decided I would just turn it off and open up the windows and have a nice time. And I was like, okay, we have time, I have energy, I want to talk about how much I don't give a shit about Shane Dawson and his attempt to shame the beauty community while not being part. We'll get to it. So it's like, okay, I want to sit down, I want to talk about it, I want to do a thing, I'll do my makeup, I'll do a get ready with me and not really pause to talk about the steps, and hopefully be done with enough time that I don't overload the limited capacity of my phone to record stuff. And so I start picking out colors, and I put my contacts in because I want my glasses to work today. I have my beauty blender and I start getting shit together and I start hearing the beeping of a smoke alarm. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go find out. Our smoke alarm goes off for all sorts of shit. It could be that there's been normally our smoke alarm goes off because we're cooking. So if there's any residue on we have a big flat top glass cooktop, and we are messy people, so we use it as space unless we're actively cooking on it. You end up with debris and stuff. If there's anything still on the cooktop or that drip down into the oven, as soon as you turn on either of those, even though you can't see smoke, you can't smell smoke, the smoke detector will start freaking out. So I no longer get worried when I hear a smoke detector. I'm just like, really? Again? Can you stop? So I go, and I'm like, okay, let's find out what it is. It's probably that somebody, decided to preheat the oven and didn't close the cellar door, which is like, it doesn't stop it if there was a real fire, but it does stop it from complaining while we just cook. While nothing's actually burning. Just cooking's happening. And I come downstairs and I can see smoke. And it's going off. I'm like, oh no, this is like an actual smoke thing. Oh no. I go downstairs. Turns out when my dad was making pie, he never turned off the whatchamacallit, the stovetop. He moved the stuff off the stovetop, but he happened to leave a cutting board partially overhanging the stovetop. How many times can I say it? He left something partially overhanging it, and we have all these wood cutting boards, and so it had been slowly smoldering and was now smoking. So I had to take that and drop it in the sink, run a bunch of water on it, open a bunch of windows, or more windows, so that it would air out. And then, of course, I had to inform my mom that one of her cutting boards was now mangled. She does woodworking, so she made this cutting board. She likes it. It's a very pretty cutting board. It's one I was kind of going to steal when I left, and maybe she'll not let me have it because the handle is not really usable anymore. We're gonna have to chop it off and re-round the edges. I say we like I'm gonna do anything about it. My mom's going to do that. And of course then we have to go outside and tell Dad what he did. Ooh, I thought I turned it off. Well, clearly you didn't. I didn't cook. Mom hasn't gone in and cooked since then. Nobody interacted with the stove. And Mom's got better hearing. She was able to hear it out in the garage, because our garage is across the yard from the house, and it's also her woodworking shop. She was able to hear it and come back and kind of caught me as I was cleaning everything up. But my dad is practically deaf. He would not have heard it. Our house would have burned down. We would have no more pretty house that they have been restoring for like 30 years now. So, there goes all my calm. I didn't have a lot of calm, but I had a little bit. Now I have none. But I do have foundation and base on. Ooh, lip balm. I need lip balm. It is a lot faster when I do not tell you guys what I'm doing. So, things I wanted to talk about. A little bit of Shane Dawson, mainly to tell him to go fuck himself, and the beauty community. This is not the first time I will be talking about the beauty community because somebody's trashing it. And it will not be the last, because people seem to love to shit on the beauty community without really getting involved. Because the issues that Shane was in the beauty community. He made a palette. He didn't really make any content. He didn't really do any reviews. He kind of showed up long enough to fake an interest, make a shit ton of money, and then fuck off while telling everybody they're horrible. But staying friends with one of the most horrible people who is still technically in the beauty community. We're talking about Jeffree Star. I originally did not know who Jeffree Star was. I wasn't even really aware of his makeup until he had a falling out with Kat Von D, and I had known who Kat Von D was in relation to makeup, not in relation to her tattoo stuff, like I knew she was a tattoo artist. I guess she technically still is. I haven't seen her do any work, but I also don't watch her do anything that I can avoid, because I don't really like her. So, I don't follow her. I don't know if she's still tattooing or just, letting it influence her art. She has a very, very lovely art style if she wasn't such a horrible person. Same thing with Jeffree. Jeffree has some really interesting opinions about color stories, and I think that's really cool. Like, some of the palettes and things he puts together, some of the makeup looks he makes, are really interesting. But he's a trash person, so I can't properly enjoy it. Kat Von D is an anti-vaxxing, nasty, nasty person, so I can't enjoy anything she makes. I know it, and now I can't unknow it, and that is just kind of how it happens when you find out things you don't like about people you thought were awesome. So, Shane is not somebody I really watched. I saw a little bit of his documentary stuff, but he'd been on YouTube and in the creator sphere for much longer than that, and I had no fucking idea who he was. I think the first thing I watched was when he started doing the big documentary-ish vloggy things with Tanakon. Tanakon? Tanakon. Don't know, don't care. And so I was interested in that, and so I wanted to see what he was making with that, and it kind of bled over into watching some of his docuseries, which Abby Williamson has rightfully called glorified vlogs. They seem like they're really cool. They seem like they're telling you something, and then later you look back and you're like, did I actually get any real information? No, you didn't. It was all a trick. That the editing and the presentation of it pretended like it was actually doing something, but you were just kind of there while people were there. I have, become less and less interested in that content as it went on, because you can sort of see the repetitiveness. I did not really like that he can be friends with whoever. I get that he and Jeffrey get along, which again makes me nervous about Shane. I get that they're friends and whatever, and I see how you would want to get interested in what your friend does, and Jeffrey is very much beauty community. That's what he does. He was music scene. I don't think he's making any music anymore. He's really leaned heavily into producing, reviewing, kind of lifestyle-y makeup stuff. And he has a fairly large company that's all around makeup, or at least the stuff we see. Like his shipment, fulfillment stuff is not, but I get that you would see that your friend is in that and be interested in, what it's about and want to know more. And so, after their little docu-series together, he decided that he was going to get into makeup. Cool. Let's see what happens. I am always excited for people to get into makeup. And, then it was just the palette. It was just him making a palette. And him tattling on himself in his video about the palette, about how much he doesn't really know about makeup. He didn't start playing with and sampling other formulas and getting a hold for what you want in different formulas until after he already made some of the decisions about the formula of his palette. That's why we don't like makeup that is not made by people who use and are interested in makeup. Because you don't know what you want from it, and so you make bad shit. Luckily, Jeffrey's got a very popular formula, and as far as I can tell, the palette was pretty good. I didn't buy it. I do have a friend who bought it, and she fucking loves it, and I love the looks that she's making out of it, and if it makes her happy, we're good to go there. But this was not like, oh, Jeffrey got him into makeup, he realized he wanted a very specific color story from playing with other stuff that he really didn't find, and he wanted, changes to the formula, and he came in with a plan. No, he just picked some shit without even knowing how they were going to build looks around it, and then after the fact, went back and did it secondhand, oh, I guess I should really, figure this out before we launch a palette without me knowing anything about palettes, or eyeshadows, or doing my own, let alone other people's makeup, let alone picking out a selection of shades that's going to work for a bunch of people. Do you realize how hard it is to build your own color palette? Go ahead, think about how many times you've made your own selection of shadows done a build your own palette or something like that, or like picked up with something you were sure was going to be perfect for you, and found out later that you'd missed things. You'd missed, you know, a good way to pair two of these really pretty colors together. You love the colors, but you didn't leave any way to tie them together. You didn't leave the right number of shimmers. You didn't leave a deep enough matte. You didn't leave a highlighting shade. It's really hard to build a cohesive color story and be interesting and unique, even when you've been doing a lot of makeup. It's complicated. And then Jeffrey helped him do that, launched the videos, launched the palette, everything went crazy. And he said he was going to make content. I didn't see it. I'm not sure anybody saw it. I get that he has anxiety, and that might have influenced whether or not he felt good about what he did film, but he puts other stuff up. So it seems a lot more like he realized it wasn't something he wanted to do and never addressed it. Until now, which during his restock decided it was a good time to drop a long, angry thread about why he was leaving the beauty community, and how toxic everybody is, and how it's bullshit, and how he's over all of it. So, you came in here long enough to make a bunch of money on us. Well, not me, I didn't give you any money. Oh, I guess ad revenue. Yeah, if I watched videos, he would have gotten ad revenue. So you took money from all of us, and then you want to just say nasty things about the community as we leave, while being friends with, and saying you're going to maintain a relationship with, one of the nastiest people in the community. Jeffrey is the toxic shit that Shane talked about in his little note. And he acknowledged that in the note and said, oh no, but he's my friend. Okay. I'm getting off track, just ranting. Anyway, Jeffrey brought Shane in, and Shane thought that counted as being part of the community. And then Shane decided to make a whole big deal about him leaving the community that he never really contributed to. He didn't repost, he didn't do collabs, he didn't create his own content. He didn't even make like some tiny little tutorials using his own fucking palette. I'm so sassy right now. These eyeshadows look really nice. But I think that this brand doesn't exist anymore, so. Calming back down. He goes on about how nasty and mean and horrible the beauty community is, without having been a true part of it, which really fucking pisses me off. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like the beauty community if you weren't really there, you weren't really doing stuff. You were not a part of the community if you didn't contribute. If you don't wear makeup, do makeup, something like that, and all you do is watch videos about people who do makeup, do you consider yourself part of the beauty community, or do you consider you somebody who likes watching beauty makeup videos? Because the beauty community is much more complicated than just acknowledging that you're allowed to wear makeup. There are so many subgenres in the beauty community of what people make and do and the style of content. Complaining that everybody's superficial and annoying and nasty and backstabby. Yeah, the really, 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 really big people in there, like the top 1%, are nasty. And I don't know if that is because those people became nasty after getting to that level, or if getting to that level requires somebody willing to do really mean, nasty shit to get there. Because I stopped watching Big Beauty Community people a long time ago. I really don't give a shit about Laura Lee or Jaclyn Hill's videos or James Charles or Jeffrey. I don't watch them because they're not fun for me. It's not the style of content I like. Turns out I like medium to small content, which is actually where all the fun shit is. Like Nisa Pisa, Teresa is Dead, Kitchnich, Just Buy the Makeup, Abby Williamson, Teresa is Dead, Emily Hanhan. Oh, who else? T at Nappy Headed Jojoba. Kinky Sweat, who I don't watch as much anymore, but still awesome. Like, there are awesome creators that are making really, really good content, reviewing makeup, critiquing makeup, playing with makeup, doing tutorials. Oh, Amy Loves Makeup, also awesome. Lacey at Spooky Lips and Fat Hips. Oh. I think it's Alexis the Alchemist. I'll have to double check. She's newer to me. Or they're newer to me. I think I got their gender wrong. I'm sorry. There's so much really, really good content of interesting, lovely people making good videos about makeup that they're excited and interested in, or trying makeup that is really hyped and showing what is missing from it. Hannah Lee's posting. Georgia doesn't make, I don't think she makes really makeup content anymore, but I loved her content when it existed. I'm sure I'm forgetting a million people that I watch and love, but there is really good content out there. And just saying, oh no, I don't like the people because you've associated yourself with one of the meanest, most controversial people in our community. And, you know, the kind of people he hangs out with. And then acting surprised that you're having a bad time. I'm sorry, you picked him. You picked him, you were aware of his controversial issues, you were aware of the drama around him and other creators. You knew about so much of the stuff that is like big drama issues, and you were surprised that you're not having a good time? I'm sorry that being with Tati and Jeffrey has kind of sucked for you. There's a reason. I don't think any of the creators that I listed have talked about either of them other than to say, really, can you fucking not? Can we just talk about makeup and techniques and the people we like? Can we stop doing that thing over there? No? Okay, lovely. The beauty community is not just drama. There are better sections of the community. There are lovely sections for the people who like products, who like testing, who like doing unique textures, talking about, honestly, anything while doing their makeup. Oh, Bailey Sarian, who does her makeup and then does true crime stories, and she tells you while she's doing her makeup. That's awesome. I love when social commentary and critiques are involved with makeup content. I find it very awesome. This is taking longer than I thought because I planned a more complicated lid than I should have. Okay, you need to stop moving. I made my calculation about how long I could do this based on how fast I can do my makeup in the morning, which is a much less complicated and colorful look. I don't normally wear this to the office. But I think we are almost done with the lid. And I can kind of smash through the rest of my face. You do want to put more of that blue. Oh, I got that in my eye. Lovely. Like, technically the color is lovely. Getting it in my eye is not lovely. So, summary. I'm pissed. I'm pissed that people keep thinking they can just say nasty things about the beauty community and everybody's going to nod along and agree with them, while not actually being a part of it or taking the time to look at the aspects of it. The top 1% of most industries are assholes. And that means we should be holding people accountable, but it also means that you should be aware that if somebody is insanely popular, they're probably not so great. Unless they're like hidden gem. Yeah, Tati's kind of a bitch. Jeffrey's trash. James is not my cup of tea, although I do kind of feel like people are ragging on him for fun nowadays, which makes it not fun to not like him, because I don't hate him for the same reasons. I just don't really find his content to be to my liking. I find him annoying. But not to the point that I would fabricate information about him and continue to tell people that he's a predator when no proof has been brought forward that he's a predator. He's also a child. Like, yeah, he's older than, like, 12, but he's not a fully formed adult, and he's gonna have a very skewed view of the world based on becoming so popular and famous and rich so early. So it could go either way. He could get way better as he gets older. I think he's leaning that way. He's not there yet. And I think a lot of it is just that I don't like the sound of his voice, and that's going to take a lot of my time to get over. And since his content is not really my cup of tea, it's mainly more crazy and less... It's not recreatable looks, it's not fun indie brands, it's not techniques that I want to use, and some of it is very like, people painting their face into, like, elaborate paintings is cool. And sometimes I want to watch it, but most of the time I don't, because I'm never going to have that skill set. I like medium fun. Medium fun. So, I am very tired of people deciding to bash the beauty community while not really being invested in it, and just using a couple of examples of, like, big YouTubers as their examples. There are issues in the community. There are things that are ripe to be called out. Shane didn't stick around long enough to learn any of them. He didn't get invested in anybody enough to figure out some of the issues. The consumerism, the brand promotion, the false advertising, some of the things that are real issues. The culture of promoting overspending and debt for makeup and stuff like that. That's really fucking sketchy. Or brands that really promote specific, narrow ideals of beauty and don't acknowledge that there are other options. Brands that are still catering to white people and not making ranges deep enough for anybody with any real skin color. Rainbow washing. Greenwashing. There are problems. And Jeffrey's probably contributing to a lot of them. But we didn't notice that Shane had decided to be part of our community, so I don't think we're really going to notice his absence. I am legitimately a little sad on the small basis that Jeffrey promoted such a narrow view of the beauty community to Shane that Shane figured out he liked makeup, because he said he was going to keep playing with makeup outside of, in his personal life, outside of YouTube. So he found something that a lot of us found, which is how fun makeup is to play with and how creative it is for a lot of different outlets. But because he had a specific view of the community and what he should and shouldn't do promoted to him by Jeffrey, he didn't get to do the fun stuff. All those palettes and things that he bought and we saw him buying and playing with and receiving in his docuseries, we never got reviews of them. We never got to see what else he made with them, how long he's been using them, what he thinks now. We never got to see those interesting looks that he wanted to make. We never got to see him use his own fucking palette. And that's really sad that he doesn't get to find the good part of the beauty community, which is most of it. Most of it is people who want to make really fun content, who want to share a joy of color, a joy of creativity, and tell people about products that they think should be on their radar. Like, when I do reviews or talk about makeup that I found, it's because it's really cool and I'm excited about it and I want other people to be as excited about it as I am. And I hope that they can have the same joy using the product I can, not because, well, A, I'm tiny so nobody cares, but not because I get a kickback from it, because I enjoyed using the product. Or I found a trick, or I found something that fixed a problem, and maybe somebody else has that same problem. Maybe they can get my information. They don't have to struggle as long as I did. That's... Or maybe they see part of a look and think, oh shit, I didn't think about that, let me try that out. Doesn't have to be the whole look, doesn't have to be any of the look. It could be that you see two colors together and make a completely different look from a passing influence from seeing some colors on a face. And yeah, we love anti-hauls, because the beauty community is kind of fucking ridiculous. Brands, beauty brands, are ridiculous. The volume of shit that people are trying to put out and sell to us is ridiculous. That's why we like anti-hauls. God damn. It's not because we're negative. And yes, some of it is, it's fun and cathartic to complain about bad products. Because we spent money and time trying things and doing research, and then we get something that just really fucks up. It's cathartic to complain about it. And to let other people know, hey, if you were expecting this from the product and you have these set of expectations and this situation with your skin, your products that are going with it, your process, or anything, it ain't gonna work with you, don't use your money on it. That's the end of it. I really think he missed so much of the good in the beauty community. And some of me's like, yeah, fuck you, good riddance. A lot of me is like, fuck you, good riddance. Because I don't watch most of Shane's content, but I've heard some less than stellar things about his track record, and the company he keeps sets an expectation pretty low for his standards. And yeah, there are mean, nasty people in this community. There are people who are in it only to make money, to get as many views out of a video as they can, to promote a video product that they know gets them a kickback, like Jeffrey and Shane, and who aren't really doing the makeup for the love of makeup, they're doing it for commercial goals. But it is a job. Reviewing products, creating beauty content is a job. You don't go into an office building and ask the accountant if they would like to do more accounting because of their love of math but not get paid for it. There are people, it's perfectly fine for a job to be a job. It has a little parasocial relationship blurred line thing that is complicated, especially with how a lot of the beauty community content is geared towards kids, or at least some of the bigger communities. Honestly, I don't think most of the people I watch are kid-friendly, with the cursing, and mainly the cursing. I love the cursing, though, so anytime Teresa does her little spiel about using the word fuck like a comma, I get very happy. And at the time, she was trying not to do it to see if it affected her monetization. I was sad every time she didn't say it, because I love it. We're adults. We're full-grown people watching content, and especially if you do a disclaimer at the beginning, I'm going to say fuck a lot. Okay, you know whether or not that video is for you, right then and there. I don't know why I'm pretending like I'm gonna frame my brows nicely and use a pencil. We're just doing this because I'm running out of time, because I didn't take into account how long my face was gonna take when doing a structured eye look. This is why I can't do fancy things in the morning. I had a plan. What was my plan? I knew I had a thing I wanted to use. I remembered enough that I had a plan, but not what my plan was. Oh, goddamn. This highlighter does not fuck around, and I'm still trying to find, like, a way that I can diffuse it enough that it'll be like I can eventually wear it to the office. I'm not Lacey. Lacey with her aggressive highlights and her confidence for just a landing strip of safe, protective reflection gear on her face. I'm not there yet. I might get there, but I'm not there yet. I should have known, though. Give Me Glow highlighters are these Give Me Glow? Yes, Give Me Glow highlighters are a Lacey suggestion, and I should have known that there was a reason she would suggest them, that they would be her cup of tea. It is because they're awesome, but it's also because they are aggressively reflected. Okay, that is most of the face done. Whew. So yeah, I don't like that people keep coming into the community with an agenda and then deciding that it's fun to crap on the community on the way out. It's a nice place. For most people, this is an outlet for most people. This is a fun pastime for most people. And I'm sorry that you got in with the wrong crowd, but that's your own fucking choice that you made. Like, I can't be that mad about the fact that, oh no, the horrible people are horrible, and you knew that before you got into the beauty community. You spent no time getting to know other types of creators, and it fucking shows. I'm sorry that you missed all the fun that the community is, and all the nice, like, lovely interactions you can get here. There are people that I see in the comments on multiple different channels that I watch that I notice. I'm like, oh, We're buddies. There's somebody who found me in one of the third cousin's live streams. We had a whole little bit about how much we love Cleona Shadows. A, because Cleona Shadows are awesome, and if I knew, lovely lady, I think your name starts with a K. I don't remember if it's Karen or not, but it might have been Karen F. You're awesome, and I thought about trying to find you on Instagram, but I couldn't figure out which of my people you were. So send me a message, and we will talk about Cleona Shadows some more. Because you find people who like the same things that you like, and you have a great time bonding with them. And I bet she's got some cool ideas for some color patterns. Or maybe she knows other Cleona Shadows that I should have. I don't have all of them. So it's highly possible that I need more. I don't. I really don't. I'm trying to save money. Hence why I'm using shadows and not telling you what they are, so you can't tell me whether or not they're new. One of them's new. A lot of them aren't. And playing with makeup without telling everybody what it is means that they can just look by the colors, try to find something similar, or shop their stash without feeling the need to go make a purchase. I do have a Cleona pre-order from back in February that is still eventually coming. There were holdups, obviously, with the Rona. But this is a nice community. I would like people to actually look into the community. Go see some people. Go find some people who are doing interesting stuff. Oh, Annette's Makeup Corner, I think her name is. Another good one. There is a beauty community tag going around that I will eventually attempt to film and do, but I didn't have the energy for that today. I just had enough energy to slap this on my face very quickly while running out of time and yelling. Also, I think my house might be not full of smoke now. I seem to have yelled myself out. I just... Find good creators, find good content, and stop watching people that are not good for you. He made a mention of his anxiety. There's plenty of people I've stopped watching because as their content changes or as I changed my opinions on things, their content was no longer fun for me to watch. It actively made me pissed off. I stopped watching it. That's what you do. If you don't like associating with people a certain way, you just move on. You don't need to make a big fucking statement, because you were not part of our community. You were not truly part of the beauty community, so you don't get to make a whole thing about you leaving, because nobody noticed you were here. We would not have noticed when you were no longer not really here. Find good creators, support good creators, support small creators. They're a lot more fucking fun than the big creators. You'll find more interesting makeup, for sure. Since there's a lot heavier leaning towards indie brands and unique textures, and why is... Oh, that must be where the light from the window's coming in. Does that help you see the shadows better? Should I go back into the shadow over here? Yeah. There is really great content out there, and it sucks that Shane didn't find it or didn't make any of it, but again, you have to look for it, and you have to step away from the people that you don't like. And if one of those people who promotes that really bad situation is your best friend, your family, stop associating with him. It sounded more like a pre-breakup with Jeffrey than it did a breakup with the beauty community. But also, most of us aren't here for Jeffrey. and we're not gonna miss you. So I will hopefully do that tag later. I will try to tag, I think it's Kara C, who started it. It'll be in the description box. I gotta go. Thank you all for watching and tolerating my ranting, and hopefully finding a nice set of colors that I didn't tell you what they are, so ha ha ha. Bye.